Hey everybody, we're out here at our buddy Adam's. We're going to be working on this classic Bronco back here. It's got a full Roadster Shop chassis equipped with the Coyote, and we're going to be building a full custom exhaust for it. We got a bunch of goodies from our friends over at Stainless Bros. Got a bunch of pie cuts, V-bands, mufflers, of course some gloves. We're going to see if we can do some teardrops on there, some flex couplers, a bunch of tubing, all the materials necessary to make this thing sound really nice. Really badass. Like the setup, everything looks really nice and good. Full Coyote swap, harness and swap kit by our friends over at Powered by the Hour Performance. Roadster Shop supplied us with some headers, so we're going to be building a full 3-inch going all the way out the back. You can see this really nice Roadster Shop chassis here, full 4-link front and rear. This is my first time seeing one of these up close. I'm pretty impressed. Everything looks really awesome. I mean, they always do great work. So here's the Bronco. Nice classic build. This thing was working, running and driving before. It was just on an older carburetor motor and obviously an older chassis. So, you know, this customer wanted to upgrade. Got some badass beadlock KMCs. One thing I noticed, I like how they build the diffs. They kind of angle them so you can get way more clearance. If you were to do any sort of off-roading, rock crawling, you have a little bit of a skid plate here instead of this being straight up and down and getting caught on the diff case. You do have a really nice little rotated assembly. I also like how they do their links. This is how you adjust them. You just turn that to lock it. And you spin the whole thing to adjust it. But just a nice setup, clean, keeps all the crap out as well from all the threads, and it's got some rubber protecting the joints in there as well. All right, that's enough chit chat. Let's get to work. All right guys, coming at you with a pro tip here. We're going to be cutting this piece of tubing with simple tools, this angle grinder. Typically I would like to cut this with a bandsaw or chop saw, but we don't have that available to us at the moment, so we're going to go a little old school, but I'll show you a nice little tip that I use to be able to cut it nice and straight instead of cutting it and making it all wonky. Typically you'll want to measure evenly, do a few notches across. Just enough so you can see it at every angle. And real simply, I'll just grab some tape and you'll just follow the line. And then one thing that'll happen is when you get to the other side, you want to give it some tension and pull it nice and tight. You'll notice that should fall right over that tape line, and then you can just mark it again. Now you have a nice straight cut line. As long as you're not cross-eyed, you can cut it straight and keep a steady hand with the. Another trick that I've used is you can use a hose clamp. You can do the same thing, tighten up a hose clamp around your piece and mark it. There it is. All right, mocking up the mufflers right now. Ended up going with the low profile. They're only about 4.5 inches tall by 9 with 17 inches overall. So pretty decently compact, but yet still have enough to actually muffle. Got a little X pipe that we made here. Thinking about getting it kind of in this area, letting these two merge together right there. So got the body back on the Bronco here. We actually built some bumpers for it. Unfortunately didn't have a chance to document the process of it, but pretty straightforward. This just started out as a 6x6 box tubing that we went ahead and gave it some definition, cut it at an angle here, brought it up, capped the ends off, and welded and blended everything. I think it was a pretty cool look. Kind of completes everything back here. Finished all our fabrication with the body off. Now they got the body back on so we can finish up the exhaust. We also built up these bumpers, and I'll show you the front one right now. This one's still kind of a work in progress. We're not sure what we're going to do with the ends. Maybe cap them or maybe give it a little bit more angle. Just cut it at an angle here and then brought it slanted it in up top as well. I think it looks pretty good. It kind of tapers in and matches to the body line there. So we'll put some lights here, some D-rings. We'll do a light bar on top there as well. Can't wait to hear it, so let's get this exhaust wrapped up. That wraps up our full custom exhaust on this full lifted 4-wheel drive chassis from Roadster Shop. Paired with some Fox shocks, KMC wheels, Toyo tires, powered by the hour Coyote swap. We fabbed up some custom bumpers for it, front and rear, and paired it with a full custom stainless exhaust with all components from Stainless Bros. So we're running all V-bands, all 3-inch. Did some pie cuts because there's not a lot of room to work with here, so we needed to get really tight and really creative. Built a custom X pipe Paired it with some mufflers and gave it some resonators at the end with some nice little sick dumps coming out the back. Kind of angled it, flow with the bumper. I like it. I like the way it came out. It kind of gives it that old school vibe, all paired with new age technology and some nice flair. We're just waiting on these guys to finalize their end on some things, get all the wiring done, all the fuel lines plumbed. Looks like that's pretty much wrapping up, but once they do, we'll come back, we'll get a little video of it. Would love to hear this thing get fired up. Coyotes always sound really good, especially paired with 3-inch and X pipe. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll catch you on the next one. See ya.